Before start this video, please subscribe my channel and click on bell icon. Thanks.
However, not all shipwrecks have left so many traces. Here are 10 fabled shipwrecks that have yet to be found. Related, 10 fascinating finds and stories involving old ships. 10 The Merchant Royal sinking of the Merchant Royal, the most lucrative shipwreck in history with a value of $1.5 billion. The Merchant Royal was a British merchant ship that had been used for trading in the West Indies. The ship was launched in 1627, but just over a decade later, it sailed its last journey. In 1641, the Merchant Royal was headed back to London after a successful trading session when it started leaking. Unfortunately, due to the ship's generally poor condition, the leak was enough to sink the boat off the coast of Cornwall. Despite the fact that the ship's last location is known, no one has been able to find the ship. This particular ship took off on her maiden voyage in 1593 from Goa. However, just 1 year later, she was caught in the action of Fayal, a battle near the island of Fayal during the Anglo-Spanish War. Still, the ship has yet to be discovered, as does all its treasure. It was one of 3 ships that he took with him on his expedition. Sadly, however, this ship, unlike its 2 sisters, would never make it to the Americas. In 1492, on Christmas Eve, a cabin boy took over the helm while the more experienced crew members got some sleep. Not knowing how to sail a ship properly, the cabin boy steered the boat into a coral reef off the coast of Haiti. Although the crew managed to get themselves and their cargo off board, the ship sank, never to be seen again. Today, the ship is thought to be buried under enough layers of sand that it will most likely never be recovered. Despite several years of successful sailing, the ship sailed on her last voyage in September 1679, when she headed out on a journey across Lake Michigan to Mackinac Island. At the time, she was carrying a cargo of furs for trading. However, somewhere along the way, something happened, and the ship disappeared. To this day, we still don't know where the ship lies or what happened to her and her cargo. Although treasure hunters have attempted to find the wreck, as of 2023, their efforts have been in vain. The ship had a relatively successful career until it made a fated voyage to Malacca in 1511. The trouble was, at this point, the ship was 9 years old and was already starting to show signs of leaks, needing regular repairs. Despite this, the ship was never found, and even today, eager treasure hunters have had no luck recuperating the lost boat. 5. The MS Munchen. Did a rogue wave sink the MS Munchen? On December 7, 1978, the ship embarked on her 62nd voyage along her usual route, carrying steel cargo and 28 crew members. However, the voyage didn't go as usual this time around. Sometime in the early hours of the morning on December 12, the ship put out a distress call due to bad weather. The signals continued until around 7 a.m., and later that evening, a search party was launched. Although the wreck was never found and the reason for the wreck has never been explained, 2 months after the disaster, one of the MS Munchen's lifeboats turned up. However, the boat was empty, and to this day, no one knows where the ship itself or the crew's final resting place is. It was named after Benjamin Franklin, who had published writings in Paris with the title Les Maximes de Bonhomme Richard. In general, the Bonhomme Richard had a successful career, managing to catch a total of 16 British ships. However, the ship's victory was short-lived. On September 23, 1766, the ship was hit by enemy fire, and the ship began to burn. After 36 hours of attempting to rescue the boat, the ship finally sank. Although the ship itself has never been found, there is a model of the ship in the National Museum of the U.S. Navy. So if you're curious about what this vessel would have looked like, you can just take a trip to Washington, D.C., to check it out. However, in 1960, the ship was converted into a vessel that could carry molten sulfur. Sadly, it turns out that this wasn't the best decision. On February 2, 1963, just 3 years after becoming a sulfur carrier, she set out on her final voyage. However, what's particularly strange is that the ship didn't send any distress signals, it simply disappeared. After giving a location report on February 4, the ship vanished from all communication radars while it was somewhere along the southern coast of Florida. During its disappearance, the ship took 39 crew members' lives with it. Although there was one report of the ship's wreckage turning up in a desert in Libya, this hasn't been verified, and the location of the shipwreck remains a mystery today. It was built in 1910 in Philadelphia and operated successfully until early March 1918. That's when the ship made a voyage to Brazil. On its way back to the U.S., from the South American country, the ship and its entire crew vanished without a trace. Due to the fact that this was during World War I, the U.S. Navy suspected that a German submarine had sunk the ship. Multiple search efforts were launched to recover the ship, but it was never recovered. To this day, we still have no information as to why the ship sank or where it lies, although there are several theories that have been put out. Besides being sunk by a German submarine, some believe the captain got drunk and ran the ship aground. Other theorists believe the ship was overloaded and sank due to its weight. Whatever the case, we likely won't know until we find the wreck. After 9 months of being stranded on the islands, 4 of the castaways took a small boat to attempt an escape. They were never seen again. Interestingly enough, although the castaways were found, the shipwreck never was, and it remains lost to this day. 10. Fact checked by Darcy Heikkinen. Thanks for watching. Credits to listverse.com. Please subscribe my channel for more videos.